Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be discussing 7 luxury items that I nearly bought but so glad I didn't and the reasons why. Diving straight into the first item, it is the Van Cleef Arpels Alhambra 5 motif bracelet in this exact combination. This particular one is in the rose gold with alternate guilloche and the reddish carnelian stone motifs. I know these bracelets are super popular and they come in all different types. So they come in the mother of pearl, the onyx, the malachite, the full gold guilloche, the diamond pave. There are just endless options with this bracelet, and for good reason, because they are really pretty and they are very popular bracelets. So the reason I've never been into this bracelet in general is because I'm someone who usually prefers a bangle over chain bracelets that move around too much. I would find that a little too cumbersome. I find bangles have much less movement on your arms. Don't get me wrong, I love the look of the chain bracelets, but I am someone who doesn't like to be bothered on hands and arms too much. A lot of people also stack those VCA bracelets with Cartier bangles such as the Love bracelet, the Justin Cleef bracelet like I'm wearing at the moment. So it is one of those stacking pieces that a lot of people go for, but I personally never thought that would be a good idea for my stack because that bracelet will just move around too much and hit my other bangles, and I think that would just bother me. I like my bracelets to be almost unnoticeable when I wear them, but that particular bracelet with the carnelian and the rose gold guilloche really had my heart for a little while. I first saw it when I casually went into the VCA boutique here in Sydney with hubby. We were just looking around. I think I was still pregnant. So I think hubby had on his mind maybe getting something really nice as a push present, even though my Birkin special order that he went all the way to Paris to pick up, in my mind was always the push present. And to be honest, I'm someone who thinks, who cares about a push present? I just don't think it's really important to buy anything really expensive. Anyway, I did not expect to find a 5 motif bracelet that I really loved, but that particular one instantly caught my eye. I generally really like rose gold for my complexion, so all my Cartier pieces are in rose gold, and that combination between the rose gold and the deep red color of the carnelian stones, I just thought if I was ever gonna go for a piece like that combination would be it for me. I believe that combination is relatively new compared to those other versions of the bracelets, and VCA hasn't been producing as many in that combination. So I have to say, I did go into the boutique a couple of times to see that piece and get a real feel for it, and I was so close to adding that to my collection, but the pragmatic side of me stopped me. One, at the time I was just about to have a baby and give birth. We all know once we have our babies, we don't tend to wear jewelry on our hands and wrists as much on a daily basis. I still wear my rings and maybe one bracelet when I go out, but for the most part, since I had baby C, I don't wear my bracelets nearly as much. You guys may have already noticed that I've taken off my Love bracelet that I always had on for the last 2-3 years that I owned it, because at home I just don't want to have any jewelry on my hands and wrists. And the fact that the Love bracelet is so fiddly to put on and take off, I just decided to leave it off. That's a story for another day. I have not been wearing my Love bracelet and I have not been missing it. So anyway, I might talk about that in a separate video, but the Justin Cleef is so easy to put on and take off, so I've just been wearing this alone when I go out. So I thought if I am getting the 5 motif bracelet, I will be adding it for the future me, not really for the current lifestyle that I'm living. And I did discuss this with you guys last year when I did a no wish list video last year, that I'm gonna stop buying things for my future self. If an item is not gonna work for me right now at this point in time, I am not gonna buy it, because in a couple of years time when we're ready to use that item, who even knows that we're gonna love it as much? So I thought it's not gonna be the smartest choice for me at the moment. So in a couple of years, if I still really like that bracelet and I start wearing bracelets a little more often, then I'll buy it then. But I'm so glad I didn't just buy it for it to sit in my closet. Next item is the Chanel phone clutch with a handle on a chain. I also checked this out last year on a whim. I've been so out of touch with new Chanel styles, what new bag designs they've been making, because when they started doing these insane price increases, I kind of lost interest in Chanel bags. So I haven't really been going in to check out their bags very much. But in the last few months, I've been going in to check out some seasonal things that might interest me. And this phone clutch on a chain with that cute top handle really caught my eye, considering it is a small leather good item with a chain that you can wear as a bag. It looked pretty good. You know, some wallet on chains or some SLGs on chains look really not substantial enough as a bag, but this particular one, maybe it's because of the top handle, it actually looked like a proper bag and it looked pretty decent. I believe it's not a permanent style or anything, but it is a style that I've seen Chanel repeating season after season, and I can see that it would be a pretty popular style because of how good it looks. And I guess the price point is still somewhat palatable for a Chanel bag. This one at the time last year when I checked it out retailed for around 5,000 Australian dollars, maybe a little more, which is insane for a small wallet on chain item, but at the same time, it is an item that you can use as a bag, and what Chanel bag can you get for that price point anymore? And it also comes in so many cute seasonal colors, and at that time, there was this yellow one, a mustard yellow one that I absolutely loved, so I was so tempted to get it. But I'm so glad I didn't because it would be so small. I did try to fit in my phone in the boutique when I saw it. It does fit my phone, which is an iPhone Pro size, not the Max size, but it is so small that you can't really fit anything else. Rightfully so, because it is actually a phone clutch. But you know, with most wallet on chains, you can still fit your phone and a couple other things like your lip gloss, your keys, and a card holder. But this one wouldn't even fit that. It did have a couple of card slots, so I guess you could argue that you don't even need a wallet of any sort. You can just put your couple of cards in there and maybe just lay your key flat, or just hold your phone and use it as a tiny micro bag and put your other belongings in there instead of your phone. The old me a couple of years ago might have bought it, but the current me can't really be bothered with really small bags that are just way too tight to even fit my basic essentials. So I'm so glad I didn't buy it, even though I really love the look of it. And I guess coming back to the price point, I remember paying for my actual mini flap bags, like my square mini flap. I mean, that was bought years ago for like 3,500 Australian dollars. Bargain for today's standards. And even my newer mini flap with the top handle in the grey that I bought maybe 2 years ago, that bag I believe I paid around 6,500 Australian dollars for. So to think that I paid those prices for actual proper bags that can hold a meaningful amount of stuff, I just couldn't spend over $5,000 on a phone pouch on a chain. There is another item from Chanel that I'm so glad I didn't buy, but I almost bought. I was so close to buying it. You might be able to guess what it is if you watched my Vlogmas videos last December, a month ago. They are the Chanel slingbacks in the limited edition white dotted prints against the black background. I absolutely love Chanel slingbacks. I also tried this particular limited edition one in the classic ballet flats. A classic Chanel ballet flat pair was always on my radar on and off. So when I saw these limited edition versions of these shoes that I really like, I was so interested. I do own a pair of classic beige and black slingbacks, which I personally find really comfortable to walk in, and I find them really easy to style, so they are one of my go-to pairs of comfortable block heels that I can even wear now as a new mum. And the added bonus with these limited edition pairs was how beautiful the packaging was. I showed that in my vlog as well. They came in the matching dust bags, the box, and I believe the bag as well, all in the same pattern as the shoes. I thought that was just so cute, but I guess I don't impulse purchase anymore. So I came home to have a think about it, and if I really liked it the next day, I was gonna go out to buy it. And you know, to be honest, I don't think I even love that pattern that much, the black with the white dots. I think I was just hooked to the idea that it was limited edition and that it came in that matching dust bag and the box. I think I was into the matching dust bag and the box even more than the shoes themselves. So when I realized that, I told myself, that is so crazy. I'm not gonna wear the dust bags or the boxes on my feet, am I? So if that's the reason I'm gonna go for those shoes, I really shouldn't. And I'm gonna be really honest with you guys. When I saw them, I thought these are gonna make for really nice unboxing items for my YouTube channel. I honestly don't buy anything to unbox on this channel, but those shoes made me think a little bit on that. So I decided that is ridiculous, don't be silly. So what do you know, a couple of days later, I stopped even thinking about them. So that would have been like $2,000 down the drain for items that I don't even love. So I am so glad I stopped myself from making that mistake. Next few items are from Louis Vuitton. The first one of those is the Kirigami set in the Christmas animation Vivian collection from 2023. It was Louis Vuitton's first year ever doing a Christmas animation edition for the Kirigami set. They've always done it on different SLGs like the key pouch, the mini pochette is one that they always do, passport holders, but last year was the first time they ever did it on the Kirigami set. I've always liked the idea of the Kirigami set. I just like that it comes in 3 separate pouches in different sizes, so you can use each pouch for a different purpose, and the price point is somewhat reasonable for a Louis Vuitton SLG these days. Even a mini pochette that is just one single pouch retails for over 1,000 Australian dollars, whereas the Kirigami set has always set around that $1,000 mark. So I always thought that would be a much smarter purchase over some other SLGs that LV has to offer at the moment. And when I saw this Christmas animation edition, I thought, oh my goodness, this is the time. It was only $100 more than their regular classic version as well. So I thought, that is such a great deal. It is something so limited. It is so cute with the Vivian print on it. The interior is the beautiful bubblegum pink. So I was so drawn to it when I saw it. But I had a little talk to myself. I do not need another designer pouch. I've got a couple of Louis Vuitton mini pochettes, which I haven't even been using. I've been preferring to use cheap pouches to store my things in my bags anyway. So I told myself the set is really cute, but they are not really gonna have a functional purpose in my collection. I don't need to own it just because they look so cute. If we dissect the Kirigami set, what can we use each of those 3 pouches for? The largest pouch will be a little too large to use as an inner pouch for your larger bags anyway. So it will be a nice clutch that you can use as an alternative to a handbag. But I already have a couple of pouches that I can do that with, like my Dior 30 Montagne pouch with the oblique pattern. It can fit so much and you can use that as a pouch bag. I also have my YSL Uptown clutch that I can do that with. So that larger size will be redundant. The middle size, what can we use that for? Maybe like a passport holder or maybe as a medium-sized catch-all. So maybe the medium size will be useful, but unless I'm using it as a passport holder, if I'm just using it as a medium-sized catch-all, then I already own a couple of mini pochettes. So I can use my mini pochettes that I already have in my collection instead of that. And the smallest one, a lot of people use it as a coin purse or a card holder because it is so small and it is that perfect size to store cards. But I already have so many card holders and coin pouches. So do I really need this set? Functionally, no. So even though I just thought they were so cute, I stopped myself. Actually, the other reason I was really considering that one is, again, coming back to the packaging thing. Louis Vuitton does beautiful packaging around Christmas time. So if I bought that set, it would have come in the holiday packaging for last year. So I thought if I'm gonna get a Kirigami set anyway, why not get this special one in the special packaging? And then I realized, silly me, I don't need to spend over $1,000 just so that I can get a paper bag and some red ribbon. Am I crazy? So I stopped myself. Next is another item from last year's Christmas illustration edition, and it is the Nano Speedy with the Vivian print on the side. There was a time I was really obsessed with the Louis Vuitton Nano Speedy and I really wanted one. It was, I believe, 2-3 years ago. At that point in time, the Nano Speedies were just impossible to buy from the store. You could buy them from the resale market, but they were selling at a premium all the time. So I just let that idea go. I forgot about the whole Nano Speedy after being obsessed with it for months. And I even forgot about the fact that I really liked the Nano Speedy until last December. Again, went into the Louis Vuitton store. I vlogged that day as well, so you guys might have watched my LV vlog already anyway. I spotted that one and I really loved the look of it, how cute it was, and the fact that it was a little more unique than your average Nano Speedy. Louis Vuitton monogram bags can be quite counterfeited and they are pretty commonly seen, but I thought this Christmas one with the Vivian on it won't be as counterfeited and it won't be as commonly seen. So it'll be a more unique version of the Nano Speedy. So I thought that was the best of both worlds. It is a classic bag from Louis Vuitton, but it is that little more unique. So again, I was so close to purchasing it, but two things really stopped me. I discussed this briefly in my Louis Vuitton vlog as well. One, I don't need another mini bag. I mean, considering it's a mini bag, it does have a pretty good capacity, but even with my Pro phone, which is not even a max size, you can't actually fit the phone straight in. You have to rotate it in slightly. So that would just annoy me too much. And two, that particular Nano Speedy was 3,050 Australian dollars. I just didn't think that that Nano Speedy looked like it was worth over 3,000 Australian dollars. When I was really obsessed with the Nano Speedy, I just clearly remember the price of that bag to be 1,420 Australian dollars. I remember that exactly because that's how much I was obsessed with looking for a Nano Speedy at that point in time. So remembering that price so clearly, to pay more than double the price of what I remember it to be, I personally just couldn't do it. I mean, of course I know the luxury bag prices have gone up a lot in the last couple of years, and of course the Nano Speedy went up in price too, so I can't really make a comparison to the price 3 years ago, but just for my own personal standards with pricing, I just couldn't do it. If I was gonna pay over $3,000, I thought I should actually get a more practical bag like the Speedy 20, which is a smaller, medium-sized bag, which will work perfectly for my current lifestyle. As you guys know, I am hunting for a perfect, smaller, compact, medium-sized bag that can fit a little more than your mini bags, which again, I haven't even decided on that yet. But yeah, that Nano Speedy really had my heart, but I'm kind of glad that I talked myself out of it. I have one more item from Louis Vuitton, and it is the Nano vanity case. I love how cute that vanity case is. I do own a Nice BB, which is a larger size vanity case. It is a pretty piece to sit on my shelves, but to be honest, I don't really use it when I'm traveling. I just find it a little awkward to fit into my trunks, so I'd mainly just use it if I'm on a road trip, but if I have to go anywhere on a plane, I don't even use it. But it is a really pretty piece, and I got it at a pretty good price years ago, so it is a piece that I'm really happy to have. But anyway, they started doing smaller sizes in that vanity case, and the Nano one, it is so cute and it's pretty versatile. You can so easily convert that into a bag by buying a conversion kit and attaching a chain or a strap on it, and it actually looks like a decent bag. You know, when you convert small leather goods into bags with the conversion kits, sometimes they just don't look quite right, or they look a little not substantial enough, they look a little cheap even. But this Nano vanity case actually looks pretty decent. I guess because a lot of designers still do vanity case style bags, and they look pretty similar to that Nice Nano turned into a vanity bag. So I was really hooked for a while. The price point is a little much for a small little leather good, but if you compare the price to an actual mini vanity bag, I mean, you're still getting a pretty good deal on it. I believe it's around 1,500-1,600 Australian dollars at the moment, and a small vanity bag would be $3,000-4,000. So I really like the idea of it, and I was kind of missing having a small monogram bag in my collection too. And for a second, I thought that would be a nice alternative to getting a Nano Speedy for $3,000. So I really thought about it, but that vanity bag just won't be practical for me. I don't like bags where you have to zip it around in that way, because you can't do the zip with one hand. And I saw a lot of reviews where your phone doesn't fit really straight in, you have to fit it diagonally, which really limits how you're going to fit your other stuff in. So yeah, those couple of things really bothered me, so I decided I could really do without. And last but not least, we have another jewelry item. It is the Graffiti Love bracelet from Tiffany. I can't remember the exact name of it, but it's basically the Tiffany ring that says love in the runny writing. A lot of people stack that love ring with the Cartier love ring, which I have. So the story with this ring, we went into Tiffany last year around Valentine's Day because we were just browsing around. We thought it is the first Valentine's Day after we got married, so maybe we'll just buy a nice present. So we started looking around, around and just went into Tiffany. And I remember that love ring stacks really nicely with the love ring from Cartier. I've seen it on a lot of people. So I thought, you know, it's an easy enough purchase. It's not too expensive. And I kind of liked it with my love ring from Cartier. And I'll insert a photo of me trying it. So I was like, yeah, this is a nice little idea for a Valentine's Day. But even on that spot, I thought, and I don't want this to come across the wrong way for anyone who has this ring, but it just didn't look very expensive or substantial. And it was still gonna cost us over 1,000 Australian dollars. And I came to the realization that I don't even love it 100%, but I just like the idea of getting it as a Valentine's Day gift. So I was just looking for something that had a reasonable price point, that has a cute love theme to it. And I thought, there we go, that's a nice little Valentine's Day gift. So yeah, it would have been easy enough for us to just grab it. But ultimately, I'm so glad I realized that at that point, before making the purchase, that I was about to get it just to get it. So these are the 7 luxury items that I nearly bought, but I'm so glad that I didn't. Do you have any items like this? I'd love to hear from you guys as well. So do share yours in the comments below if you have any. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. As always, thank you so much for watching and spending some of your precious time with me today, and I can't wait to see you again soon in my next video. Bye guys.